Hello everyone, myself Saurabh Maheshwari and I welcome you all to the ongoing lecture series on C programming. We are doing topic functions in C and till now we have seen concept of functions where we draw an analogy between television and remote control to understand that the relationship between CPU and the functions. Okay, and we also saw how the user looks towards the function as an black box with giving input and taking some output. This black box is defined by the programmer and programmer writes some definition in the programming language and it works for the input to produce the output. Then we saw what is function morphology, how to design a function in C programming, what are the main parts of the function. So we saw that function needs a prototype which is declared in global space. Then we saw there is a function body where all the statements of the functions are defined. Then we saw there is a function call which is called by a function is called by another function, and we can also have a function return. When the function completes, it returns to the calling function. Okay, now in this video we will start with a example of the user defined function, and the function is for addition of two integers. Okay, now this program is a very basic program and you might have done it in your initial classes that the two integers are taken as input and their addition is produced as output. Okay, so it should not be a program more than 5 lines to declare an integer c and take this c as equals to a plus b and print this c. So this should be a simple program. I might not say that this is the best application for function, but for understanding purpose we are taking a simpler application to understand the various parts of the function. Okay, so this is the name of the function, and you can see that this is the global space. This is the global space. Okay, now in this global space you can see that the function has been declared and its prototype. Okay, this is the prototype of the function, and as you can see the prototype has return type, return type which is integer over here, that it is going to return a value of integer data type. Okay, now add int is nothing but name of function, and then we have the input parameter, input input parameter 1, and we also have input parameter 2. Okay, but here you can notice that input parameters are not written as their variable name. Okay, only the data type of the parameters is written here in the prototype. Okay, because prototype we know that it is a model of the function, so only what kind of parameters it is going to take input, what will be its name, and how it is going to return the output. Okay, so that will be declared in the later part. This is only a model which gives the name of the function. Okay, which is this name of the function, the types of the type and number of the input data types, and there can be only one output parameter and its data type is written in the prototype. Okay, now you have to notice that anywhere in the program if this function is used, you cannot change its name and you cannot change even its number of parameters in C programming at least. Okay, and the output should be of the same data type that has been declared in the prototype. Okay, now after prototype declaration we started the main writing of the main function, and in the main function we declared some variables and initialized some its values. Then we saw that what are the values of a and b individually. So this statement is used for a particular value. Okay, and then you can see that add int function is called. So this is called call, call of function. Okay, so this line is treated as call of function. Okay, now notice here that this call of function has some real parameters. Okay, real parameters in the sense there in the prototype we only saw the data type of the parameters is written, but here some actual integers, that is integer a and b, these two are integers, so first integer and second integer are given as the input. Okay, now these are called actual parameters. These are called, these a and b are called actual parameters. Okay, now actual parameters nothing but the parameters which are used in the call of the function. Okay, so these are the parameters of the calling function. Okay, so who is calling function here? Okay, the main is calling add int. Okay, main is calling add int, so this main is here calling function. Okay, this is calling function, the function who calls. Okay, and who is called function? This add int is the called function. And where is the call? This is the call. Okay, now while calling we saw that input parameters are given. So this a and b are the input parameters. And the input parameters, what are the types of input parameters? They are actual parameter, and there are some other parameter that we will see later. So actual parameters are those parameters which are the parameters of calling function. Okay, and they are the variables or data. They are the data items of the calling function, and they are given as the input to call the function. Okay, because here a and b has been given as input to call the function. Okay, so as soon as it is called, so what happens? The normal program flow stops here, and it jumps the control to the called function. Okay, now as soon as the call is executed, so the function jumps, the control of the compiler jumps to the called function. Okay, and where of the called function? In the declaration. So this is what declaration of the, or I can say not exactly the word declaration, we will use the word definition. Okay, so definition of the called function, from the call it is jumped to the definition of the called function. Now when it jumps to the called function, it starts executing. So it has some input parameters. Obviously this input parameters has to be the number of the same number as we did in the prototype. And in the prototype, the actual name of the parameters was not written. Okay, so here you can see that two variables are declared, and we have chosen the same name as it was in main. Okay, but this a, declaring this a and declaring this a and b, okay, is not same. Okay, these two parameters, these two different set of parameters are different because of the concept of different blocks that we have seen in the previous video. Okay, so different blocks, both of the function, both of the variables of the both functions are stored in different blocks of memory. So this a and b, okay, this a and b of the main are different stored than this a and b of the main. Okay, so what happens? This a and b of the calling function, which are called the actual parameters, their value is copied to the formal parameters. Formal parameters. And what are the formal parameters? They are the parameters of the called function. Okay, so they are the data items of the data of called, okay, called function, right? So the parameters that are used to call are called actual parameters, and the parameters that exist in the definition of the function are called the formal parameters. Okay, and the function performs some operations. So functions perform some operations on these parameters, which are formal parameters, and in the last it returns some value. Okay, so this return statement is used to return some value, and this return can return only maximum one value it can return. So here it is returning a plus b. This a plus b is converted into the output data type. This a plus b is converted into the output data type, return data type. So suppose if this is the value you have got in character or float, now before transferring the value to the calling function, okay, this value would be converted into this return data type. And after this return data type, this value reaches to the calling function, and this calling function transfers this value to the output parameter. Okay, the parameter which is looking for the output. Okay, so this sum has to be of the same data type which is called, okay, which is returned. Okay, and then it is printed as usual. So this program has been returned, and now it starts processing the remaining statements of the program. Okay, so let me draw the sequence of the various variables, which would be: first it is the prototype, second it is the running of the main function till a call is received. As soon as we receive a call, so the call is jumped, the control is jumps to the called definition. So this jumps to the calling definition. So the values of these parameters is copied to these parameters. We will see detail in detail this concept. Okay, so it jumps to the called function. Then called function is executed. Then this return is performed. This return changes the data type in the return data type, and it again reaches to the output function. Then this output is assigned to the output parameter, and then the normal flow of the main program resumes. Okay, so this is called calling and returning. Okay, so this is called calling and returning of the function. So I believe that you have been following this concept, and see here that this first line has been obtained due to this first line has been obtained due to this A and B in the main is 5 and C 6. Okay, so this line has been executed, and this gives that this A and B are 5 and 6. And when this line is executed in addInt function, so this had addInt function, so you can see here this addInt has been printed, and this A and B values whose value has never been assigned here, because you can see their value has not been assigned, they have only received the values from the actual parameters. Okay, and the value is 5 and 6, which is same as the formal which is same as the actual parameters. Okay, so the value of the formal parameters, these are the formal parameters, is same as the actual parameters. And why it is same? Because of this call of the function. Okay, we will see this same program in detail for other concepts. Let's see it. Okay, now here I'm introducing the concept of parameters, that is function parameters. Okay, so we saw the morphology of the function, which has prototype, which has call, okay, which has return, okay, and which also has some definition. Okay, and these parameters are part of call and also the part of definition. Okay, so these are the parameters which are part of call. They are called actual parameters. Okay, because they have the actual values of the, okay, they have actual values of the parameters. Okay, now when this function is called, their corresponding values, okay, the first value will copied in this and second value will be copied in this. Okay, now these two values are copied, and these variables which holds this new copy are called formal parameters. Okay, so these are formal parameters. So what happens when you call a function, the value of actual parameters are transferred and a new copy is created as in the terms of formal parameters. Okay, and you have to note that the in every function the number of actual parameters should be equal to the, okay, equal to the number of formal parameters, and also they have to be compatible data types. Okay, they have to be of compatible data types. Okay, so these are the two concepts that you have to remember. Number of actual should be equal to number of formal. Also, data type of actual, why needs to be, I'm not writing the same, needs to be compatible. Okay, all the compatibility between the data types rules, okay, applicable here also. Compat needs to be compatible with formal. Okay, and we these are the two different types of actual and formal parameters in terms of functions only, but we also have some different parameters which are local and global parameters. Okay, so any parameter which is declared inside any scope. Okay, so local parameters are what? Declared and used inside a scope. Okay, so they are called local parameters, like this A, B and sum. These three parameters are local in this scope only. They are known to this main function only. Okay, so they are the local parameters to main. Okay, how we are going to pronounce this? Local parameters to main. Okay, now these A and B are local parameters to add I and P. Okay, add int. The name of the function has a syntax of writing like this, that the if it consists of multiple words, then the first word is written in the lowercase and the first letter of the second word is written in the uppercase. This is the general rule of writing. Okay, this is the general trend of writing. I may not say rule, because if you will write everything in small, it would not be an error, but it is a general trend of writing the first character of the second word as capital. Okay, as in the uppercase. Okay, now you can see that the global parameters are also available, and these are declared in this global space. Okay, so I would write declared in global space. In this example, we don't have any global parameters, but we will see some examples in the upcoming modules. Okay, so declaration is in global space. Okay, and these are not limited to any scope because this is in the global space, so they are known to everyone. Okay, so they are declared in the global space, so they are known to, okay, known to all the functions. Okay, they are known to all the functions, even main and other functions which are not main functions like addend. So these are the global parameters. Now let us see the parameter passing methods to a function. So parameters to a function can be passed by value method and passed by reference method. So the example that you have seen here is the parameter passing. Here the parameter has been passed. Okay, I'm only writing the main statements where the parameters have been passed. So you can see that sum equals to add int and a comma b. Okay, so this is the way of passing parameters. This is called passing parameters. Okay, and passing parameter. Okay, now we have to see that this is passing parameter by value or passing parameter by reference. Okay, now in this lecture we will see that how to pass parameters by value. It means when you call the function, okay, this is call of a function, this is call of function, and in the call of function when you write some parameters, okay, inside the function, this is called passing parameters. Okay, and these are what, these parameters are actual parameters, actual parameters. Now what happens during the call of a function by value, passing parameters by value, these parameters, the value of these parameters is copied to the formal parameters of the called function. This is what called function. Okay, now what happens, this in the memory you have a block 1 and you have a block 2. Okay, now this is block 2 and this is block 1. Okay, this block 1 is related to main and this block 2 is related to add int, suppose. Okay, now when this integer a and b were declared inside main, okay, you can see integer a, b and sum are declared inside main, they are created over here, a, b and sum. So this is sum, this is a, this is b. So these might have some addresses like we have seen in the pointer classes, that all the addresses, all the variables have a random generated address. They are stored at a random address. Okay, now this a, b and c. Now we also saw that a equals to 5 and b equals to 6. Okay, now as soon as this call is initiated, it also creates a, it also creates a b. Okay, it also creates it also creates a b because of these statements, and you can see that physically they will be at a different memory locations because these are two different blocks of memory, so their memory location will not be same. Okay, and here this a and b, when the call of a function is executed, the value of the uh, actual parameter, these are what actual parameters because they are used in the call, and these are the formal parameters. Okay, they are for the called function. Okay, now the values of the actual parameters is copied, okay, is copied correspondingly to the uh, corresponding parameter of the called function. Okay, so the value of a will be copied, value of a will be copied to a of the block 2, and value of variable b of the block a will be copied to the block 2. So you have to remember this thing, that same name of variable cannot be given in a single scope, right? Because in main you cannot have two variables of name a, right? But in different blocks, and or you can say in different scope, you can have the same name of variables, and these two variables are not of the same memory location because they are not same. Writing this a and this b, okay, of block 1, this a and this b of block 1 is different than this block a, this variable of block 2, a and b of block 2. So these two are different and the values of the parameters is copied only, fine. So there is a disadvantage also. So what is the disadvantage? That there is a redundancy, Disadvantage is what? There is redundancy in the memory. Okay. Suppose there are only two parameters, and suppose you have an application where more than 100 parameters are required, and even an array of very large element is required. Okay, so what will happen? A copy will be created every time. You will have the memory required here also, and the same amount of memory will be required here also, because the values will be copied. A copy of the value is created. Okay, so there are the two copies. Now what will happen in this function? Okay, what happens in this function will happen with these parameters only, not on these parameters. Fine. This is an important thing, that suppose we do a multiplication over here. Okay, now suppose I do like this: a equals to a multiply b. Now this is what I do. Now which a will change? Okay, this is to be this is very interesting to know, that this a into b, that is this a and b, because they are in the called function, so this will apply to this block 2, and this would be a into b is 30. Okay, and this 30 would be applied to this particular place, and this a will be changing to 30. But you can see that this a doing this operation has no effect on this a. Why no effect? Because this operation has been conducted inside the called function. Okay, now if anything has to be reflected on the calling function, that the return statement will be used. Okay, so here the return statement works to return any value to the calling function. Okay, so this is how pass by value concept works. So this is the example for pass by value thing. Okay, here pass by value works in the form of the value of a and b is passed to these a and b, and this return statement is used to pass value to the return to the local parameter of calling function. Okay, so this is what passing variables by value. Now we will see that another program on passing by value parameter for summing of all the digits of an integer. Okay, now you can see we have declared the prototype of the function whose name is add digits. Okay, we have written the name like this because we want to add a digit. So suppose we take a number, and the output should be the summation of all its digits, that is 7 plus 9 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is equals to 28. So our objective is to take a number and perform sum of all its digits. Okay, I believe that this program can be done very easily without use of function in a single main objective. Okay, but now we will see this application with the help of function. Now see this, that we have declared the local parameters to the main. Okay, these are the local parameters to main, and we have also assigned the value to this a. Okay, now this a is printf backslash n. The value of a we have printed. Okay, so this is the value of a which has been printed. Now there is a call of a function add digit. Okay, and a actual parameter has been passed over here. So this is memory, and this is memory block 1, which belongs to, suppose, main function. It has a variable a whose value is 54397, and it also has a variable sum which is not been initialized yet, and it is waiting for a value from the function. Okay, this function should return a value, and that value would be transferred in this sum. Okay, now as soon as this call is executed, okay, the block of new memory is created, block 2 is created, which belongs to this function, called function, whose name is add digits. Okay, and in this add digits you can see there is a formal parameter which is t. So I will initiate a variable t, and it also has a s. Okay, this s will be used for storing the sum, and which has been initialized with 0. Okay, so this happens, and since it is a call by value, this is call by value, because the value of the uh, uh, actual parameter is passed during the call. Okay, so actual parameter of value of actual parameter is passed during the call. So this is called call by value. Okay, and this value is copied to the parameter t. Now here you can see this time I have used a different name of the parameter in both. Okay, for the same purpose, because the value of a is copied to t, but there is no necessity to write the same name. Okay, in the previous example we had the same name, integer a and b were there in the main, and integer a and b were there in the sum of digits function also, right? Fine. So sorry, sum function also, right? But here the name of the same corresponding parameter is different. So this example should make you know that there is no necessity, there is no relationship between the names of the actual and formal parameters. Okay, you can write any name that you choose. There is no necessity that they should have the same name, or there is no necessity you can have the same name also, because there is no collision of the memory, because they both are stored in different memory blocks. So that is why same name can also be there, but different name can also be there, okay, of these two corresponding parameters. Now as soon as this call happens, this formal parameter, okay, takes a copy of the value, that is value of a is copied to this parameter t. Now the logic of sum of digit is applied, and you can see that s equals to s plus t mod 10. So every time we take a unit digit as a we take the unit digit and add it to the sum. So 7 plus 9 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, okay, until it becomes 0. Okay, so these digits are added together, and this, okay, now you can see that this sum is, every time the remaining digit is also printed, remaining number is also printed after the division. So this is what it is printed, and after completion of the program logic, we return this s. The s holds the sum of the digits, that is 28, but it is not printed in the called function. Now it transfers this s to the return data type, and if it is not in the return data type, but here it is in the same data type, but if it is not there, so it would be converted into this return data type, and this return data type would return the value to the function, and this function return would assign the value to the output, and this 0 which has become 28, this value is copied to the this 28, this sum variable. So this is what happens. Okay, this is the order of the process, that first the value of the formal parameter, actual parameter, value of the actual parameter is copied to the formal parameter. Then there is some processing happens, and then after processing, the return value is copied to the output parameter. Okay, so here if I draw the sequence, I can draw the sequence here also. First this thing is executed, then the call is executed, the call goes to the copying of parameters. Okay, now copying of parameters goes to process the, okay, after copying, process of the function takes place, and then it returns. After returning, it converts the compatibility, it checks the compatibility of the value, then this value is returned to the function, then this value is assigned to the output parameter, and then the normal processing of the function resumes. Okay, so this is the complete process of call of a function by value. Okay, so this is all for this lecture. We will see process of call of a function by reference, which is the another type of pass by reference parameter. We will see in the upcoming lecture video. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.